Welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another live stream on the channel. And look at me with a smile on my face, and I better, Man United, I say I better have this smile on my face in 24 hours after we play Arsenal. If you take the smile off my face tomorrow, Man United, I'm not going to be happy, because Liverpool and City have dropped points. If Arsenal could drop points, it would be my favourite three teams to drop points, dropping points in the space of 24 hours for United. My happiness for the rest of the weekend is on you. But what I will say is we've got lots to talk about in today's video. We've got the lineup for Manchester United versus Arsenal, footage of Antony in training, Antony doing some skills in training, who's going to play versus Arsenal tomorrow, quotes from Ten Hag's press conference, what Ten Hag had to say about the game tomorrow, a little bit more information coming out about what United are doing in the transfer window, bit of beef between this person and this person, how the players actually got Man United to change their strategy in the transfer window, and loads of little topics to talk about. Diogo is also benched for Barcelona, lol. But so much to talk about. But guys, come on, positive. We might be back to negative, Alice, tomorrow. When I can be positive about Man United, I will milk it. I'm like the fucking board. If I've got something to be positive about Man United, I will milk it, because I just want to smile when I talk about Man United. I've been negative, Alice, for so long about this club. And remember, Glazer's out. Even if we win tomorrow, Glazer's out, of course. Keep getting the Glazer's out movement going. Is a protest tomorrow versus Arsenal. But if you look at the Premier League table, Liverpool 6th, Chelsea 5th. But we got a game in hand. If we win tomorrow, we go 12th. Puts us into 4th place. 4th place, 3 points off the title. Top 4, title charge, here we come. I'm joking. But we need to win tomorrow. Because I tell you this, City dropping points again. Arsenal fans need humbling. Arsenal fans think they're winning the league. We cannot let the Arsenal fans think like this. No. We need to win tomorrow. But if we do win tomorrow, we sit there in 4th place, 3 points off top of the league. And you've got to remember, Man City haven't played any of the big 6 clubs yet. We'll be top of the league having played 2 of the big 6 clubs. We haven't played any of the relegation, Nottingham Forest, any of the Bournemouths, we'll be second. We'll be 3 points off top of the league, having played 2 of the big 6. Sitting in 4th place if we win. But not only is the win tomorrow important because I want to humble Arsenal fans, not only is the win tomorrow important for my weekend, but the win tomorrow is also important for the momentum. Ten Hag starting to build some momentum, build some confidence in the team, and the win tomorrow will be very, very important. Of course, Glazer's out. Thank you very much for the super sticker, mate, as well. We need a dub tomorrow. City and Liverpool both drew and Leeds lost. I know. If Arsenal and Leeds lose and City and Liverpool draw and drop points, you can't ask for a better fucking weekend, can you? So smash that like button if your Glazer's out, because I will say there is a protest tomorrow. We can be Positivity FC. We can be like the board. I can be milking all this positivity about City and Liverpool losing. But if we lose tomorrow, they drew. But if we lose tomorrow, I'm back to raging Alice. Fucking useless Alice. And I don't want to be that Alice. I want to be happy Alice. But I don't want to be like the board milking all the positivity about United, because the board are a disgrace. And remember that they're going to blame everything they can on Ten Hag. The Glazers is still a joke. And despite us winning, despite us signing players, remember next summer, Antony's coming out of the budget. I want to remind you of this. Antony is coming out next summer's transfer budget. Ten Hag will not get very much money at all next summer. Maybe enough for 1, maybe 2 signings. Remember that. So we must get them out, because Sir Jim wants to buy the club. Sir Jim wants to buy the club. So that's what I'm going to say as well. I personally believe starting Ronaldo, Casemiro and Antony would be perfect. Antony might be the X factor. I am going to get into the starting 11 in just a second as well, but I can't wait to see Antony tomorrow at Old Trafford. Antony is in the squad, guys, for tomorrow. Antony will be involved. Oh, you know what? Let me get the pictures of the lovely Antony up. Let me get the pictures of the lovely, lovely Antony up. Oh, Alice, stop going. We've got, honestly, there's been some videos and photos of Antony in training over the last 2 days, and the boy is a baller. Look, we've got the Brazilian. I know this sounds so like a 12-year-old thing to say, but just the thought of having a skillful Brazilian winger at Man United, like, I fucking love Neymar. I've got a Neymar shirt. I did get it for free, but I kept it. I've got a Neymar shirt. I love a freaking flashy ass Brazilian winger. I want that skillful Brazilian winger that's nice to watch on the eyes. And United never had that. And seeing the videos of Antony in training doing his spin, I know it's just a spin, but I just feel like Antony obsessed at the moment. I just would fucking love it for Antony to just embarrass Arsenal's defence. Zinchenko's out for Arsenal and Partey's out for Arsenal, which is 3 big people out. Antony versus Tierney. Tierney is quite good defensively, but I cannot wait to see Antony, Casemiro all involved tomorrow. I cannot wait. Antony is in the squad. I don't 100% know if he's going to start, but I assume he's going to be involved. Going from Elanga to Antony, it's a massive change. And look, I've said this about Antony. He's such a good player. We've all been watching, we've all been watching the Antony skill compilations on YouTube. We've all been watching the videos of Antony doing skills and that. But I will talk about Antony as a player. Antony's a very skillful player, but what Antony's strength is not his skills. It's his ability to pick out a pass. Antony is one of the best chance-creating wingers in Europe. He might not have the most amazing stats. I think he got 8 assists. When I say those 8 assists, stats don't say, oh, Antony, in terms of chance created per assist, Antony got mugged off assists. Antony is one of the most intellectual, high IQ players in the game right now. He's 22 years of age. Ten Hag wanted him. Ten Hag knows him. We all know Ten Hag's a high IQ manager. We all know Ten Hag's a manager that's got a good reputation of finding and developing youth. We've proven that at Ajax. And Ten Hag's a high IQ manager. And we know Antony's a high IQ player. But when you watch Antony play, it's his ability to find space, his ability to pick up pockets, and his ability to link up play. The amount of chances Antony created for Ajax last season was absolutely insane. Not only is he a skillful winger, this great dribbler, but Antony really does create chances. And I think with Ronaldo needing service, Ronaldo will score you goals. And I thought when Ronaldo came on versus Leicester, he was highly impressive. But with Antony, you have that winger that can come on and actually create those chances for Ronaldo as well. Is Ramsdale injured for Arsenal? I've heard that Ramsdale is in the squad. And my starting 11 would be Dalot, Martinez, Malacia, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Sancho, Antony, CR7. That would be my 11. I think that would be most 11s as well. Rashford needs dropping. For me, my opinion on Rashford is he needs to be on the wing. I don't want Rashford at striker. We all want, smash that like button if you're with me and you want Ronaldo at striker as well. We've got a proper team now. Just bring Cody. I mean, Cody Gakpo's a baller. I would have liked both Cody and Antony, but we need a ball. But I'm going to do that as well. And Diva Ratcliffe making the firing bells ring. Oh, come back. And Alice, what's the chances of Antony in the starting 11 tomorrow? So Antony's in the squad, but I don't know if he'll start. I think Antony will more likely come on as a sub, but he will be involved tomorrow. Santos confirmed he'll be involved tomorrow. I think because he hadn't played the last few games for Ajax, he might not start right away. I think because obviously he took a few breaks from Ajax because he was on strike. I don't know if he'll start right away. However, because he's a Ten Hag signing, because he's a signing Ten Hag wants so badly, I can also see Ten Hag starting him. It's an interesting one because obviously he would go in there right for Elanga. And I think with Martial not being fit, potentially, but I think it will be Ronaldo that starts, Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, and I think Antony will be on the bench for impact if I was going to be 100% honest with you as well. Martial was not back. Unfortunately, Martial was injured, and I absolutely love Martial, guys. You guys know how much I love Martial, and we really do need him back. Martial's not going to be back. He's so injury prone at the moment. And apparently the Ramsdale injury has been confirmed. So who are Arsenal without then? So, because Arsenal without quite a few key players. Arsenal won't have Thomas Partey. They won't have ANOTNY. So we know it's going to be Lokonga. And we also know it's going to be... who's the other guy? Xhaka, Mr. Red Card. So Lokonga and Xhaka will play for Arsenal because Partey and ANOTNY is injured. Tierney will play for Arsenal because Zinchenko's injured. And apparently Ramsdale's injured. So that's quite a lot of injuries for Arsenal. So we're playing Arsenal at a good time because I think Thomas Partey, bastard, but he is Arsenal's best and most important player. I think Zinchenko has been fantastic for Arsenal and better than Tierney. But I do think Tierney's a good player. I think Ramsdale makes such a difference to Arsenal. Their second keeper's shite. When you look at Arsenal and you think no Ramsdale, no Zinchenko, no Lokonga, no Partey, I think United have got a really good opportunity here to do something to Arsenal as well. Zinchenko did travel with the squad to go to Manchester as well to see if he's fit, but reportedly Zinchenko and Partey Zinchenko and Ramsdale aren't 100% fit, but they have travelled with the Arsenal squad to Manchester. So, yeah, I mean, look, that's a good sign for us as well. Xhaka with Casemiro and McTominay, that will be interesting. I mean, let's actually, Odegaard is fit. If Odegaard was injured, then that would be absolutely brilliant. But no, I think it's Lokonga and Xhaka in the midfield. Potentially no Ramsdale and Zinchenko. United couldn't be playing Arsenal a better time. United playing Arsenal at a very good time as well. I think United will win tomorrow because Arsenal have got some mad injuries. And if we go if we go to one set, let me see if SofaScore have put the lineups out for United Arsenal. Let me see if the United Arsenal lineups are out. There's a leaked lineup going around Twitter. I will get up in a sec. So SofaScore is saying this. So let me get SofaScore's lineup up for tomorrow's game, and then I'll get the leaked lineup up for tomorrow's game as well. So SofaScore are sort of saying and expecting this to happen. The same, an unchanged lineup for United. However, I believe it is Casemiro for McTominay. There are a lot of rumours coming out that Casemiro will start in place of McTominay tomorrow, and it's likely that Rashford will go back on the wing with Ronaldo starting. It's very likely that Ronaldo and Casemiro start tomorrow. Obviously, SofaScore said that Arsenal will be playing Bukayo. This will probably be Arsenal's lineup tomorrow with a question mark on Ramsdale. So this lineup for Arsenal, I think, is quite beatable. So this isn't United's lineup tomorrow, but this is very likely Arsenal's lineup tomorrow without Ramsdale. And Arsenal's front four is absolutely brilliant, but our strength, and why I'm positive, is Arsenal's front four is brilliant, but if you look at Manchester United's defence, Man United's defence has been their strength. Man United's defence has been very good lately, and Man United have kept two clean sheets in a row. One goal in the last 3 games. Yes, all Arsenal's strength is in attack, but our strength is in defence, so that works quite well for us. Lokonga and Xhaka, they're not, they don't have a DM. This is not Arsenal's preferred midfield. We've got Casemiro and Eriksen against Lokonga and Xhaka. I think we'll be fine there. And if you look at Arsenal's defence, Aaron Ramsdale being out will affect the centre-backs, because the centre-backs can play a high line and the centre-backs are confident because of Aaron Ramsdale. And Benjamin White as a right-back, I think this is why I said stick Sancho on the left wing. Sancho will cause Benjamin White issues because Benjamin White doesn't have that recovery pace to deal with Rashford. I tell you this now, if Bruno or Eriksen put some good balls in behind to Rashford, Ben White won't be able to deal with him. So I think Ben White at right back is a weak point. I think if Ramsdale's out, which is rumoured, that's a massive weak point. And I think that's Arsenal's weak midfield. And I think the fact that our defence is so solid at the moment makes me less worried about Arsenal's attack. I mean, they've got injuries to ANOTNY and Partey. There's also doubts over Odegaard, Ramsdale and Zinchenko. So if you look at this here, Arsenal's probably 2 best players in Odegaard and Partey. One's doubtful, one's out. One of their best players in Ramsdale, one of the best players in Zinchenko. So a lot of key injuries for Arsenal, which I think puts Manchester United in a really, really strong position as well. People saying we paid 85 million for a freestyler. Trust me, Antony is a baller. People go, oh, you paid this much money for Antony. Oh, you overpaid for Antony. Antony this, Antony that. Trust me, Antony is an absolute baller, and you're all going to see it tomorrow. We're all going to see Antony absolutely tear Arsenal apart tomorrow. I'm confident of it. I actually think Antony is going to come on and he's going to absolutely rinse Arsenal tomorrow, and I can't wait to see it. But there is a lineup going around. For United tomorrow, which I'm not a big fan of. It's obviously just rumoured lineups. I think it's been tweeted by a couple of people. Wrong one. Likes. Let me find it. This is sort of the lineup sort of being thrown around. I think Chris Wheeler tweeted this, with potentially it being Rashford up top, Antony on the right and Sancho on the left, with Fernandes, Casemiro, Eriksen, Malacia, Martinez, Varane and Dalot. For me, I would swap Rashford for Ronaldo, but that lineup would be spot on. I'm not the biggest fan of Rashford up front. I think Rashford could cause so much more problems on the left. I think Rashford is so much better on the left. But this is sort of the rumoured lineup coming out for tomorrow's game as well, going around Twitter, with Antony set to start. I think we might see Antony on the bench and Sancho on the right and Ronaldo up top as well. Starting lineup will have the same. Ronaldo, Antony come on in the second half as well. Ten Hag's going to have to make changes. I know Ten Hag hasn't changed the last 3 lineups, but because we played on Thursday, it's very obvious Ten Hag's going to have to make changes to the lineup as well. Alice, how funny would it be if City and Liverpool failed to get Europe next season after dropping points against Villa, Everton, and turns out United get Champions League? Chris, I'll absolutely fucking love it. Mate, I would celebrate. I mean, Liverpool not getting Europe, I would love so much. But if City don't get Europe as well, it's an absolutely added bonus. But I mean, maybe there's a chance Liverpool and Chelsea could miss out on Europe, and it could be United, Arsenal, Spurs, City. But I very highly doubt it. But wouldn't that be an absolute dream? Guys, make sure you smash that like button, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, latest news and more, make sure you're subscribed as well. Gabriel crumbles under pressure. We must exploit him. Yeah, Arsenal have got a lot of weak areas. Antony set to start is the rumour, but I think Antony will come off the bench. It's just elite lineup saying Antony is starting. But as I've said, guys, Arsenal, no, Ramsdale is a doubt. Zinchenko's a doubt. Odegaard's a doubt. There's no Partey. There's no ANOTNY. Arsenal have got a very weakened lineup tomorrow. The Arsenal fans are already making their excuses. They're actually not that confident. This is Arsenal's first big game. This is Arsenal, maybe without Ramsdale, maybe without Odegaard, maybe without Zinchenko, maybe without Partey. You know, Arsenal are missing a lot of key players. United finally got some confidence and momentum. Malacia versus Saka will be an interesting battle. Malacia kept Salah relatively quiet. However, Salah has been quite shit this season. So it will be interesting to see how Malacia does with Saka. I think they're similar profiles in the sense of Saka's very much known as a very good pacey player that create things. But it will be interesting to see how he does. But let's obviously go back to the Premier League. Let's go back over here. But I mean, Pete, I've been saying this, like, look at the results today. Look at the results today. Chelsea should have dropped points. I mean, the only reason Chelsea didn't drop points is because of a dodgy refereeing decision. Poor old West Ham got mugged off. But look, City dropping points here. Liverpool dropping points again. We just need United to win. Look, the win probability is actually more in favour of United. And I'll tell you why the win probability tomorrow is going to be more in favour of Man United. I'll tell you why I'm confident United are going to win this tomorrow. We've got the boost of Antony coming in. New winger, new exciting, unpredictable player. We've got Casemiro fitting ready. We've got Ronaldo fitting ready. But remember this, when United go to the Emirates, I always think Arsenal are going to lose. But when Arsenal come to Old Trafford, I always think United are going to lose. There's something about Arsenal always having a difficult time at Old Trafford. There's something about Arsenal where Old Trafford is always a difficult thing for Arsenal. If it's at the Emirates, you put your bets on Arsenal. If it's at Old Trafford, you put your bets on Manchester United. And one of the reasons I think United will win is not only because of Arsenal's injury crisis, not only because Arsenal haven't played a big side, but I think we'll see the likes of Casemiro and Ronaldo involved. I think our defence has been so rock solid, like so rock solid. And when Arsenal's strength has been attacked, but they're coming up against a defence that has been so rock solid and played a few games together and is fighting for each other and building momentum, when it's a big occasion, I think Man United will win this. And another thing is Ten Hag's come out and said he's been watching Liverpool, he's been watching Arsenal. Ten Hag's come out and said he's been studying Arsenal, watching Arsenal, and all of that. Ten Hag's been talking a lot about Arsenal and how he's been watching them and studied them. And for me, did I read? Oh yeah, I read that one out. For me, Ten Hag's a big game manager. You know, Arsenal very short in the midfield as well. We've only lost against them twice in the last 19 home games. Arsenal beaten us twice in the last 19 home games. But Ten Hag is very much a big game manager. Everyone knows Ten Hag is a manager for the big games. Ten Hag with Ajax, didn't he beat Real Madrid? Ten Hag has beaten so many big sides with Ajax. Ten Hag is a manager where he's known about out-tacticianing. Is that the word? Managers in big games. Look at Liverpool. Ten Hag did so many changes, so many tactical changes for the Liverpool game, and we absolutely just poof all over Liverpool. Arsenal, Ten Hag's been watching them. Ten Hag's been talking about Arsenal, saying he's been watching them, saying how good they've been. Ten Hag will be thinking about this game. Ten Hag will be watching this game, and Ten Hag will be planning his tactics to catch Arsenal out. Ten Hag will also say, players, continue what you're doing. We've won 3 games in a row. The United players will go into this Arsenal game with a bit of confidence and momentum. The United players will go into this Arsenal game with belief we can win, belief that we can end Arsenal's winning streak, because they will say, no Odegaard, no Partey, no Ramsdale potentially for Arsenal tomorrow. That is massive. That's like United having to stick Tom Eaton in goal because we've got no De Gea. That's like United having Bruno and Eriksen out and having to play, someone else in midfield like Lingard if he was still here in midfield. And that would be United without any DM. And it would be basically Arsenal playing Lokonga and Xhaka would be the equivalent of United playing Mukfred and Lingard in midfield with Heaton in goal. Arsenal have got some really serious injuries and their best left back is out, Zinchenko. So that would be us playing an out of form Luke Shaw because Tierney hasn't been brilliant. Ten Hag's a big game manager. Ten Hag's been studying Arsenal. Ten Hag's been preparing for this game. Arsenal have got a lot of injuries, as I've said multiple times, but it's at home. We always have this home advantage over Arsenal. And I just think the new player boost, I think the crowd will get behind the players, but I think this momentum of winning the last 3 games will go our side. And I think Arsenal have a little bit of fear coming to Old Trafford because Arsenal haven't played a big side yet. And I think that could play on the psychological side of Arsenal a little bit. I know it's a tiny thing because Fulham are a good side. You can see Villa dropped Villa and took points off City today, but Arsenal might have that psychological factor in there as well. But United are actually weirdly the favourites to win. Odegaard looking scary. He's the glue to their attack, but Odegaard might be out. But Zinchenko would be back, confirmed by Luckhurst as well. And Alex, who do you think is a better manager, Arteta or Ten Hag? Obviously Ten Hag, because he's won more trophies and stuff. And if Dalot gets another yellow, he'll be suspended, right? I don't think Dalot's got a yellow in every single game. I believe United would win, but it must be careful with Odegaard, says Saeed. Yeah, Odegaard is Arsenal's number one threat. But a lot of people are coming out and they're talking about, certain situations at United and certain players. And I want to talk about Diogo Dalot because Diogo Dalot is just a massively improved player. I mean, Diogo Dalot looks absolutely brilliant, doesn't he? Absolutely brilliant for Manchester United. And what I want to do, let me stop my screen. Let me get that boring thing off the screen. Oh, well, the camera's blurry. Is the camera right, guys? It's gone a bit blurry. But I'm going to talk about why Diogo Dalot is so improved for United. Let me just stare down the camera because it's all blurry. I will say this about Diogo Dalot. I've been so impressed with Diogo Dalot. So impressed with Diogo Dalot. Honestly, I think he is a young player. He's only 22, I think Diogo Dalot is. And I think he was a right back that a lot of teams in Europe wanted. So you knew that there was a potentially good player in Diogo Dalot. But I think now you've got a manager in that's actually a coach. Ollie wasn't a coach. Everyone knows Ollie wasn't a coach. Ten Hag is a manager that's proven to develop players. Ten Hag is a proven coach manager. Ten Hag is a manager that's literally proven that he can improve players over the years at Ajax. He made Frankie de Jong. He made De Ligt. He made Lisandro Martinez. He made Simba. He made Antony. Look at how in demand the Ajax players were this summer. Ten Hag made them in that sense. And Ten Hag's got a young 22-year-old Diogo Dalot here with bags of potential. And Ten Hag is coaching Dalot. And I think one of the reasons Dalot has been so good under Ten Hag is because I think there was always a player in Dalot when he was that young and he was very good at a young age. And Ten Hag is finally coaching Dalot and getting that player out of him. And I think that I have to say Diogo Dalot for me has been one of the most impressive players. The fact that Diogo Dalot, Lisandro Martinez and Varane, when the ball went off for a goal kick versus Leicester, they celebrated and cheered together like they just scored a goal. The way the defence was gelling together. What I love about United at the moment is the fact that Diogo Dalot, Lisandro Martinez and Varane are literally, they're so together. If you watch us versus Brentford, and I said this yesterday, the body language, Maguire, we went 1-0 down versus Brentford, Maguire shrugged his shoulder, Luke Shaw was getting pissed off, Dalot was screaming at Maguire, and Dalot next to Maguire didn't know where he was going to position himself, and Lisandro Martinez was like, what the fuck is going on here? Conceded 4 goals to Brentford. Do you remember that? But then you see, we put Varane in there and we win 3 games, and the body language, the difference between Varane and Maguire. Dalot looks like so much of a better player next to Varane because I feel like Dalot next to Varane, because Maguire's the fucking captain, but he's not. Maguire does not command his back line. Maguire does not organise his back line. It doesn't take a genius to tell you that. But Varane, he commands his back line. He organises his back line. And you see Diogo Dalot looking so much more comfortable next to Varane. Dalot knows how to position himself. You see the difference between Maguire and Lisandro and Varane and Lisandro. Lisandro looks so much more comfortable next to Varane. The whole defence looks better next to Varane. But the most important thing was the personnel, the mentality when they're playing next to Varane, the togetherness. Not only does the defence look so organised, not only does the defence look so good out of possession, but how they were working together, working hard together, and defending as if their life depended on it. United have been lacking that warrior fighting mentality for so long where, we block a cross, it goes out for a goal kick, let's celebrate like we stopped a goal going in that togetherness. And Diogo Dalot is obviously, looks a lot better with Varane next to him. But you've got to give Ten Hag credit for this. It was, Rangnick's preferred Dalot to Wan-Bissaka. Rangnick saw potential in Dalot, and Rangnick's a guy that, will see potential in the best players. And I always said the fact that Rangnick was playing Dalot at 22 years of age and saw potential in Dalot, it always said to me, there's a player in Dalot here. Because if Rangnick's rating Dalot, then there's a player somewhere in there. And Ten Hag's getting the best out of Dalot in his early days, and we'll have to see how he does versus Martinelli. Martinelli's a quick winger, a different test. We'll have to see how he does. But I think a proper coach like Ten Hag on a young player like Dalot is starting to show improvement. And I think under Ollie, we didn't see any improvement. We saw Luke Shaw have that one good season, but Greenwood, Martial and Rashford all declined under Ollie. Greenwood, Martial and Rashford's first season under Ollie, they were all brilliant. And then they declined after that. They all declined after their first season under Ollie. But now we've got a manager that's not going to decline players. He's going to up players, and we all declined under Ollie. And now we've got a manager that's proven for developing players, and I think we're all going to improve under Ollie. And I'm actually intrigued to see how Wan-Bissaka does under Ten Hag, because Wan-Bissaka is only 23, 24. Wan-Bissaka is still a young player. Look, I think Ten Hag doesn't want Wan-Bissaka, but remember, Wan-Bissaka was so good for United in his first season, and I think with the defensive display that's going on, with the slightly defensive football we're playing, I think that Wan-Bissaka might be all right as well. But 100%, let me know your score prediction for tomorrow, and let me know who you play. Also, please do smash that like button and subscribe down below as well. And brought a Martinez shirt, says the people. I mean, who's on the back of United shirt this season? Do let me know. I haven't brought one because I fucking hate the Glazers. But Dalot has improved immensely. Mag Shaw should have learned a thing or two from him. I just have to think. What I love about Ten Hag signings, and I said this yesterday, with Lisandro Martinez and Malacia coming in, that is the end of Mag Shaw, as you said. The best thing about Ten Hag signings for me is not only that they're good signings, not only that they're Ten Hag signings, but as soon as Lisandro Martinez comes in, he is the first choice centre-back. Maguire was Ollie's signing, and Maguire was Ollie's first choice centre-back, and it was Varane and Lindelof and Bailly that had to battle it out to play next to Maguire. Ten Hag's got Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro Martinez is the first choice centre-back. Now Maguire is not guaranteed a place. He's got to battle it with Varane and Lindelof. And obviously Maguire isn't going to beat Varane. So all of a sudden with Lisandro Martinez coming in, it is Varane and Lisandro centre-back partnership. With Malacia coming in, it's real competition for Luke Shaw because Tellers are shit. Luke Shaw had a few bad games. Malacia plays. Luke Shaw can't get back in the squad. You know, with Antony coming in, that means that, you know, we don't have to rely on Elanga playing who's not ready, but also Antony coming in means Sancho and Rashford have to battle out for that left wing. And all of a sudden, there's a bit of depth and attack there. With Eriksen coming in, it ends McFred because he's playing Eriksen in that deeper role. And if you look at last season, who were we complaining about the most last season? Who were we complaining about the most last season? Maguire, Luke Shaw, Rashford, and McFred. They were the players. Maguire, Luke Shaw, Rashford, McFred, and Wan-Bissaka were the players we were all complaining about last season. Ten Hag puts his faith in Dalot, boom. But the players we're complaining about, McFred ends with signing Eriksen because he wants to play Eriksen in a deeper role against another player. That is the end of McFred. Maguire FC ends with Martinez coming in because Maguire's no longer the first choice centre-back United. Malacia comes in and ends Luke Shaw. Antony coming in ends the Elanga situation, but also means Sancho and Rashford have to actually fight for that left wing spot, and they're not guaranteed starts if they underperform. Eriksen can also put pressure on Bruno Fernandes if he starts underperforming. All of Ten Hag signings have disrupted the Ollie favourites. And we used to have this, you know, I do like Ollie, and I do like a lot of the Ollie favourite players. But there was a point where Rashford and McFred and Maguire and Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka were shit after shit after shit after shit after shit in every single game, and they wouldn't get dropped under Ollie. And all of a sudden, it's Ten Hag this season, all the undroppable players under Ollie are very much droppable under Ten Hag. There's no one safe at United. And that's what I love about Ten Hag's new signings is there's not one single player that is 100% safe at Manchester United as well. Come on, Manchester United, they need to play like they did against Liverpool. Honestly, I tell you what, hasn't the refereeing been awful this week, though? Chelsea have had VAR on their side and City have had VAR on side. Chelsea should have dropped points and City most definitely should have lost today against Villa, but VAR was being dodgy. But I tell you what, if VAR wants to be dodgy, you can be dodgy towards us tomorrow and absolutely do Arsenal win now. Smash that like button if you Glazers out, guys, of course, as well. What about the CR7 GOAT bicycle kick against Leicester? If that went in, that would have been a top goal. But even if that, I thought Ronaldo was really good versus Leicester. I saw some prat give Ronaldo a 2 in player ratings versus Leicester. And I thought, what? Ronaldo came on, he created 2 or 3 chances, he linked up the play. I thought Ronaldo had such an impact versus Leicester, and I think Ronaldo has to start tomorrow. I thought Ronaldo, when he came on versus Leicester, he links up the play quite well. And I will say this now, Antony will give Ronaldo service. Antony is a winger that's known about providing service. I really want to see Ronaldo in the middle of Antony and Sancho because I am very, very confident they will give him service. But also, I will say this now, I'd really like to see Sancho play in Bruno's role, Antony on the right, Rashford on the left, and Ronaldo up top. I think it could work really well. I want to see what Sancho was like in Bruno's role because I think Bruno's been a lot better lately, but I don't think Bruno's been brilliant. I would quite like to see how Sancho does in Bruno's role. I don't know what you guys feel about that. I do want to get into what Ten Hag have to say. I do want to get into the lineup tomorrow. I do want to get into the Antony training videos, and I do want to get into some stuff from the press conference. So I will in just a second as well. But I want to talk about Lisandro Martinez as well. You know, Everyone put your 11 in though. Paul says his 11 is Arsenal, De Gea, Dalot, Varane, Martinez, Malacia, Eriksen, Casemiro, Bruno, Antony, Ronaldo, Sancho. I think everyone's 11 is probably the same as Paul's. I think that's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people saying United as well. Do let me know, guys, if you think we are going to win tomorrow as well. I feel like Antony will do something special against the Arsenal defence, and the crowd will be key for the game. Liverpool, big example. Absolutely agree with you here, Timmy. I think Antony's going to come on. He's going to do some skill, and the crowd is going to completely get behind Antony, and it's going to make a very positive effect on the game as well. Honestly, I'm really excited as well. And Antony crosses in like Salah with the in-swingers. And I think Antony's in-swingers will cause a lot of problems. And with the Arsenal injury crisis, I think United are going to win 2-0 tomorrow. I actually do think United are going to win 2-0 tomorrow as well. And I think Ronaldo was looking really good when he came on versus Leicester. Casemiro was looking really good when he came on versus Leicester. Antony Elanga does the job, but he's nowhere near the player that Antony is. Imagine, this is what I'm saying. If you look at the Leicester game, we were brilliant defensively versus Leicester. Absolutely brilliant defensively versus Leicester. But it was on the ball where we lacked. The DMs did their job. This defence did their job. That was brilliant versus Leicester. Where we lacked was an attack. But now for Arsenal, the problem was attack. We've got Antony to come in for Antony Elanga. Antony's going to come in for Antony Elanga. Ronaldo's probably going to come on Rashford play on the wing. Man United are going to play a stronger squad than they did versus Leicester against Arsenal, against the weakened Arsenal side. But the issue's been attack, and we've now got an attacker there. And with Antony, you've got a player that can put those in-swinging crosses into Ronaldo. You've got a player that can beat his man. I like Elanga, but he's not ready. The reason Elanga plays is because he will do what Ten Hag asks him to do. Elanga will understand Ten Hag's system and do his role in Ten Hag's system. Antony knows Ten Hag's system. Antony's done his role in Ten Hag's system for 2 years. Elanga gets the ball, he does his job, he does his tracking back, he does his part for the team, and it's important to get in the wing because Antony Elanga does his part for the team. But Antony Elanga, when he gets the ball, he can't beat the left back. Antony Elanga very rarely beats the left back. Then you bring in the actual Antony. He's got the skill, he's got the dribble, he's got the creating ability. He's got everything that Elanga brings off the ball, and Elanga is playing purely for what he brings off the ball because it's been a very good defensive display by Man United these last few games. But now you've got a player that brings what Elanga brings off the ball, but also brings what Elanga doesn't bring on the ball in Antony, who will create chances. And Antony's goals and assist numbers aren't the most amazing, and people will bring that up, but it's about the chances he created. If you watch Antony play, it's about the eye test. It's actually about how good Antony has been. And Elanga helped the defence versus Leicester City, exactly, and that's what Antony will do. He does it in Ten Hag's system a lot. He helps the defence as well. Antony will do something tomorrow, and our depth has improved at least in attacking development. If you play Ronaldo, Sancho, Antony, you have the depth of Martial and Rashford and Elanga on the bench and Garnacho. 100%. I still think we're one attacker short, and I still think we're a De Jong short, but I do think we need Antony as well for depth, just because I do like Elanga, but he is our bench option and he is playing. I don't think he's ready, but our new star Antony will shine tomorrow. But a player I do want to talk about is Lisandro Martinez. Do you know what? All that's been going on this week is Lisandro Martinez is 5'9". Lisandro Martinez is 5'9". All the media have been saying for the last few weeks is he won't make it in the Prem. He's too small. All the media are saying, oh, they should attack the left side of United's defence. Malacia and Martinez will be weak. Martinez, Jamie Vardy came out and he said Lisandro Martinez is a bully. Mohamed Salah came out and said he couldn't deal with Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro Martinez has won all his aerial duels versus Southampton. Lisandro Martinez has won more aerial duels than Koulibaly, Van Dijk and Thiago Silva. Lisandro Martinez has won a higher percentage of duels than Koulibaly, Van Dijk and Bernardo Silva. Lisandro Martinez is also brilliant on the ball. Lisandro Martinez is also Man United's Player of the Month. But remember this, Lisandro Martinez in the Champions League, they're saying, do you know what? How brain dead some of these old pundits are, or some of them idiots on TalkSport are. They come out there and they start saying, Lisandro Martinez is 5'9". He's not going to cope with Núñez. He's not going to cope with Haaland. All talk about how Lisandro Martinez won't be able to cope with Núñez and Haaland. Lisandro Martinez played against Núñez and Haaland in the Champions League for Ajax and dealt with them perfectly. Martinez dealt with Haaland perfectly in the Champions League, and he can very much do it in the Premier League because he'll be playing next to Varane and not Timber, and Varane is better than Timber. Lisandro Martinez will be able to deal with them, and it really annoys me how every journalist is so lazy and they talk about Lisandro Martinez's height, but he has been United's Player of the Month. He's been absolutely brilliant these last few games for Manchester United. Looked absolutely brilliant on the ball, off the ball. Him and Varane are forming some kind of partnership, and the best thing is, all his stats have proven that he's better at heading than Van Dijk, Thiago Silva and Koulibaly this season. He's got one of the best stats in the league. He's, you know, and people thought, oh, because he had one poor game versus Brentford and he's 5'9", people targeted that. And poor old Sky Sports and poor old TalkSport, they can't get their clicks now. Martinez has had a few good games because all they want to do is be negative about Man United and get a few clicks. But Martinez has been brilliant. So watch them these next few weeks. If Antony has a poor game versus Arsenal, watch them go on about Antony and start saying, oh, that Antony kid, he's not worth 100 million. Watch them all go on about Antony and all of that. You know, Ajax won 4-0 against Haaland. Yeah, perfect. Brilliant, that, mate. Thanks for that. Ajax beat Dortmund 4-0. Lisandro Martinez won 4-0 against Haaland. You know, all these pundits, honestly, are so just brain dead, aren't they? And I tell you this, if Antony has a quiet game versus Arsenal tomorrow, there we go. And why are they? This is what the pundits will be saying. I predict this. This is what the Carragers will be saying. This is what the Bon Lahore on TalkSport will be saying. If Antony has a poor game versus Arsenal, this is what a Bon Lahore will sit there and say. I think it's mad that, you know, why would United spend 100 million euros on a winger that scored 8 goals in the Eredivisie? You know, he's got 8 goals in the Eredivisie. That's like 4 goals in the Premier League. You know, 8 goals in the Premier League for United wingers, okay, it's not brilliant. But 8 goals in the Eredivisie, you know, 100 million. Of course he was going to struggle in the Premier League if he's not getting great numbers in the Eredivisie. That's what your Gabby at Bon Lahore will be saying. They'll be saying shit like that. And you know what? It's not about the fucking stats. Mo Salah, if he doesn't get a goal or assist, he's fucking dreadful. Dreadful. Bukayo Saka doesn't get a goal or assist, he still has a good game. Not saying that Saka's better than Salah, but you know what I mean. And you get your brain dead, Gabriel Bon Lahore, that and there's people on Sky and your people on BT that are desperate for Antony to have a shit game versus Arsenal tomorrow so they can make a negative video for clicks about how he's not ready. I tell you this now, Lisandro Martinez had one bad game, they all went in on him. Lisandro Martinez has been brilliant. With Antony, Ten Hag knows the player. He, again, beat Dortmund 4-0 in the Champions League. You know, Martinez beat Dortmund and Haaland 4-0 in the Champions League. They will be pining for Man United. I'm confident they'll be good players. And it annoys me that all the pundits can talk about is Lisandro Martinez's height and Antony's price tag. And that's all they're going to be going on about. But I tell you what, Lisandro Martinez and Antony, I'm confident they will prove them wrong. These are Ten Hag players. These are players Ten Hag knows. And these are players that Ten Hag's confident will succeed in the Premier League. Malacia so far been brilliant. Martinez so far been brilliant. I trust Ten Hag. I believe in Ten Hag because Ten Hag is such an intellectual manager. Ten Hag, you know, I believe if a Ten Hag believes a player is what United need, then I will fully agree with Ten Hag on that. Ten Hag said Antony is who United need, no one else. He got offered the chance to get Nunes. He got offered the chance to get Ousmane Dembele. Ten Hag was offered the chance to sign Dybala on a free. Ten Hag was given the chance to sign Dybala on a free. And in the past, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have been offered the chance to sign Dybala on a free, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have gone, yes, no offence to Ole. Ten Hag said, even though Dybala on a free is a good deal, Ten Hag said, I don't want Dybala, I want Antony, and Antony only. Antony was the only player Ten Hag wanted, remember that. And the fact that United went and got Antony says to me, well, if Ten Hag wanted this player so badly, and Lisandro's been impressive, and Malassia's been impressive, who Ten Hag knows better than I know, I have every reason to believe Antony will be impressive. You know, if he could succeed in Ten Hag's system in the Champions League, he can 100% succeed in Ten Hag's system in the Premier League. And if we look at Antony here, I mean, we look at his stats here. You know, already this season he played 3 games and got 2 goals and 2 assists this season, which is very good starts as well. And you know, look at Foden and Bernardo Silva goals and assists. Yeah, actually that's a really good point. Foden and Bernardo Silva very rarely break over 10 goals or assists. Foden and Bernardo Silva for Man City very rarely get double figures for goals and assists in the Premier League. I don't think Foden's ever got double figures for goals, and I don't think Bernardo Silva's ever got double figures for goals or assists in the Premier League. I don't think either Foden or Bernardo Silva got double figures for goals and assists in the Premier League. But Bernardo Silva and Foden are 2 of Man City's best players. Bernardo Silva and Foden are very good for Man City, 2 of the best players in the league and 2 of Man City's most important players. And it's a pure example of Antony. Just let's say Antony gets 8 Eredivisie goals and 8 Eredivisie assists. People will say, oh, that's not that high stats when this player gets this stats and this player gets this numbers. But it's not about that. Foden's stats aren't incredibly insane. Bernardo Silva's stats aren't incredibly insane, but they're so important to Man City, the team that wins everything, the team that wins the league. You've got to remember that. And I'm very confident in the fact that Antony is that kind of Pep Guardiola player. Look at Liverpool and look at City, the 2 best teams right now. Well, maybe not Liverpool right now, but the 2 best teams over the last few years. Liverpool have a left-footed right winger in Salah. City have a left-footed right winger in Mahrez. All the top teams have a player like Antony. They have a player that with the profile of Antony. You know, all the top teams in Europe have a player with the profile of Antony. You know, your Peps, your Klopps, and I think Antony's profile was so important. I do think Foden's a bit overrated because he's English, but he still is a very good player as well. We don't need Rashford pace. Ronaldo is better. This is in Croatian for unpredictable ball winger. I think Rashford's pace against someone like Ben White at right back could cause a few problems as well. If ERIK Ten Hag does not start Antony Casemiro, he's mad. For me, Casemiro has to start. I know there was some speculation over is Ronaldo and Casemiro 100% fit to start. And I think one of the reasons behind Ronaldo and Casemiro not starting the last few games is because apparently Ronaldo and Casemiro actually haven't been 100% fit to start for Man United or something. I think there was a few rumours behind that. But obviously, you know, I think Ronaldo and Casemiro are pretty much back to full fitness now, and they need to start tomorrow as well. And United got Arsenal tomorrow and then Real Sociedad Thursday, and then next Sunday Palace and Sheriff. Yeah, 4 more games to the international break, guys. And I say this today, I say this now. This if we win tomorrow, it puts us in such a good place. I know it's early days, but if we win tomorrow, we go back into the top 4 with 3 points off first, having played 2 of the big 6. We've won 4 in a row. We've got Antony and we've got all our signings done. If we win tomorrow, it puts Man United in such an amazing place. It does. If we lose tomorrow, we are put in a bad performance. It's back to negativity. It's back to we're in the mid-table because the table's so tight at the moment. You know, a loss is mid-table and a win is top 4. And it's like, obviously, just because we're top 4 now doesn't mean we'll be top 4 end of the season, but it just puts more positivity in. And one of the reasons that a win is so important tomorrow is purely for the sense of, you know, that momentum. Can we keep that momentum going as well? Like, that momentum will be so thing. Haaland has the most tickers at the goal. Not difficult for not a creative player. If United play far from the goal, Haaland will be executed. No threat at all, says Pascal. Interesting there. We do have Man City in a few games as well, and Ollie wasn't given control of transfers and didn't have the strength and position to make demands. I agree. Which brings me into my next story, actually. Thank you for that. So basically, there's this whole story that came up by The Athletic basically saying that United didn't want to sign these players, but Ten Hag did. And for me, that said that obviously Ten Hag did have some control in the transfer window, but it also annoyed me because I feel like if these players flop, they're going to blame Ten Hag. So what I'll say is here. It came out here from The Athletic. ERIK Ten Hag's influence proved pivotal to the level of finance Manchester United reached. Joel Glazer was convinced to sanction the fee after seeing how much Antony wanted to join, and Arnold and Mertens held talks with Van der Sar will handle the personal terms. Blah, 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 blah. But the top thing is, it's talking about Ten Hag's influence. And I'm going to look at the positive of this, and then I'll talk about the PR spin. But look. So Man United were more than ready to throw ERIK Ten Hag under the bus. Man United were more than ready to go, you know what, we're not going to buy this player, we're not going to buy Antony. United were going to say, no, fuck Antony, fuck Diogo, we're getting Rabiot and Arnautovic in. And then obviously the Jim Ratcliffe stuff happened and United decided to spend. There's a lot of stories coming out saying United decided they should be backing Ten Hag after the Brentford loss. No, you decided you should be backing Ten Hag because there was a Glazer out protest and Jim Ratcliffe wanted to buy the club. But what I think is really interesting is under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he just let the board choose his signings. Like right now, let me go back to it. Dybala. Ten Hag was offered a chance to sign Dybala on a free. He said no, he only wants Antony. What has Ten Hag stated in press conference after press conference? Ten Hag's had multiple press conferences, and in all of those press conferences, Ten Hag has stated this thing. He said, it's about signing the right players, no one at all. Ole wanted Grealish, Bellingham, Sancho. He didn't get any of them. He then ended the window with Ahmad, who went out on loan, Donny, who went out on loan, Palestri, who went out on loan, Telles, who's gone out on loan, and Cavani, who we did use but was a panic signing. Okay? Ten Hag was like, no, do not buy me your fucking Edison Cavani, your Donny van der Beek signing. Ole didn't get Grealish, so he said yes to Donny. Ten Hag wasn't getting Antony, and he was saying, no, I don't want Dybala. Dybala's a good player, but he's not who I want. Ten Hag made it very clear to the board, you must get who I want. He was telling the board, you must get who I want. And this is why I'm so positive that players like Antony will succeed. Martinez has been brilliant. Eriksen's been brilliant. Malassi has been brilliant. All the signings Man United have got this window are players Ten Hag wanted. They tried to offer him Ousmane Dembele. They tried to offer him Dybala because of the price of Antony. And Ten Hag said, no, I don't care about Antony's price. He is the player I want, Antony or no one at all. He did the same with De Jong, and then obviously they agreed on to Casemiro. But I'm confident all the Ten Hag signings will work because they're who Ten Hag wants to sign. And the reason we've overpaid for their signings isn't because of Ten Hag. The Man United have come out with this report saying that they spent 100 million on Antony because Ten Hag was persistent. United were willing to spend 80 million euros on Antony. Ten Hag was persistent that they've spent 100 million euros on Antony. So if Antony does flop, they can go blame Ten Hag. Antony would have cost us 50 million euros, half the price if we'd got him in May, because Ten Hag gave Man United the list in May. At the top of his list in May was Frankie de Jong, and then he said Timber or Martinez, and it was Timber first, Martinez second as the centre-back options. Then he had Malacia on his list, then he had Eriksson on his list, I think he had Darwin Núñez on his list, and I think then he had obviously, on his list. But, obviously Ten Hag had this long list of, Antony and all these players that he gave the board in May. The board knew Ten Hag in May would like Antony and Martinez or Antony and Timber, and we gave AJAX 160 million euros for Antony and Martinez, 160 million euros across July and August. Do you know how much Lissandro and Antony would have cost us if we got them in May? They would have cost us about 100 million euros combined. No, they would have cost us 90 million euros combined. We lost 70 million euros, which is about 60 million pounds, on Martinez and Antony because the board waffled over it. If they'd have got them done in May and got our business done early, we would have been in a very good position. We would have signed them with having spent 70 million less. So there's all these reports coming out saying they spent loads of money because of Ten Hag. Do not believe it. They spent loads of money because of the board's incompetent in the transfer window. But for a change, they did get Ten Hag signing in. Jerry says, love your chat, Alice. All direct and just to the point. Unfortunately, in today's world, many twits don't want the truth being pushed up them, so that we just need to be bigger and simply ignore them. We've got to continue Glazers out as always as well. And Ollie was not given control of the transfers, as I spoke about as well. If ERIK Ten Hag does not start Casemiro and Antony, he is mad. I absolutely agree. If we win tomorrow, we have 6 out of 6 currency for the top 4. I mean, look, if we win tomorrow, we're en route for top 4, which is something that if you said to me 2 weeks ago after we got battered to Brentford, I wouldn't have believed you at all as well. And in fact, now that Garner's gone, we only have one real CDM, Casemiro post-Matic. I hope he stays fit. Me too. I think McTominay, and I will give McTominay credit, McTominay's been so good for United all of a sudden. Now, I don't think McTominay is good enough for United, but it's the Casemiro could be having this Luke Shaw effect on McTominay. Remember how Luke Shaw was so bang average that Brandon Williams managed to kick Luke Shaw out of the squad, and then Telles came and then Luke Shaw was insane, then was in the England squad for the Euros. It seems as soon as Man United signed Casemiro, Scott McTominay's had 2 really good performances in a row, which is crazy, but 100% he's not a CDM. Casemiro's a DM. I still think we are low in that DM position for Casemiro. I think we're completely low in that position. But yeah, I want to see Martial on the wing a bit more. I like how he's not selfish and has done quite well with the long ball through passes. I want to see Martial in the middle linking up. Because I think Martial and Ronaldo are our strikers. Antony and Anthony Elanga are our right wing options. And Sancho and Rashford are our left wing options, which gives us a decent amount of depth as well. Graham Souness, I mean, smash that like button if you think Graham Souness is a twat. I'm quite behind on the live chat, so I do apologise. The Glazer sold Garner and brought Dividino instead. Oh, I want to talk about this story. I'll see if I can find it. They basically said something. This is it. Ten Hag was a key voice in allowing James Garner to leave. He judged that Garner was not at the level to play every week. This is bullshit. I tell you why this is bullshit. Laurie Whitwell is a fantastic journalist. He's got loads of inside information from the club. Laurie Whitwell is briefed by the club. He works for the Athletic. Laurie Whitwell is one of the best Manchester United journalists. But because he's got so many good sources and because he works so closely with the club will tell Laurie Whitwell things they want him to publish. And the problem with Man United is they know there's a rumour going around. They know there's a rumour going around. And remember, we had Nuruddin on the channel. And he said that he speaks to people at Man United. And this was a news article coming around. And Nuruddin said, and he speaks to people at Man United, that Ten Hag did not want to sell James Garner. This was what was coming from United insiders, that Ten Hag didn't want to sell James Garner. And that the board needed to raise funds, but because of the ridiculous wages they gave Bailly and his new contract in Telles, they could not raise funds by selling Bailly and Telles, and they could not raise funds in selling Wan-Bissaka because the board didn't want to get Dest and replace Wan-Bissaka. The board wanted someone they could sell and didn't feel like they had to replace, and they couldn't raise funds with those players that ERIK Ten Hag wanted to sell: Wan-Bissaka, Telles, and Bailly. Wan-Bissaka, Telles, and Bailly. Wan-Bissaka, Ten Hag wanted all 3 of them sold, not loans, not here, sold. He didn't get any of them sold. So instead, James Garner, who Ten Hag wanted to use, who he didn't want to sell, it was the board's decision to sell James Garner. And Nuruddin came on the channel and said that he'd been told this from sources in the club. And United have gone and briefed Laurie Whitwell because Laurie Whitwell gets briefed by the club. And they've come out with this fake story that Ten Hag was a key voice in allowing James Garner to leave. And why I don't believe it is that apparently he judged Garner not at the level to play every week. How can Ten Hag be here a few weeks and say Garner's not at the level to play for United every week when Garner is 21 years of age, has just come off a brilliant spell in the Championship, had a very good FA Cup run where he was good against the likes of Leicester, Liverpool and Arsenal, and he's trained a little bit with Ten Hag, but he's not played, and when he did play in pre-season for Ten Hag, he was good. Why? It's very obvious that it was the board's decision to sell James Garner, and they're trying to shift it onto Ten Hag. And what really annoys me about United and the United PR is they want to make Ten Hag out to be this enemy. Let me go back to, and this is something I said in the past. What have Man United fans done? We turned on Moisey, we were Moisey out. We turned on Van Gaal, we were Van Gaal out. We turned on Mourinho, we were Mourinho out. We turned on Ollie and we were Ollie out. But we didn't turn on Rangnick because then once Rangnick came around and started exposing the board, we realised there was a pattern. And we turned on the players in the Rangnick era. What I'm saying is we can see Van Gaal's a good coach. He leaves Man United, he does good things. Moyes leaves Man United and he's honestly been West Ham's best, leading West Ham for the best ever period. Mourinho leaves Man United and wins trophies and is doing great at Roma. All the managers that were crap at United leave United and succeed. And we turned on Moyes, we turned on Van Gaal, we turned on Mourinho, we turned on Ollie, we turned on them. And then under Rangnick, we all turned on the players, not really Rangnick, but we all turned on someone. And this season, no one is turning on Ten Hag. This season, none of the fans are turning on Ten Hag. Everyone is, even when we lost 4-0 to Brentford, there was none of that Ten Hag out. Everyone believed in Ten Hag. But this season, the United fan base is united on one thing, and that is the Glazers out and Jim Ratcliffe in. And I think the best thing about what's going on right now and the shit that's gone on in the past is I think as a fan base, we've all actually united on the thing that actually changing the manager at United is going to make no difference when these owners are in charge. And I think every fan in the United fan base is all united that they want the same thing. The Glazers out and someone like Jim Ratcliffe in. And the Glazers don't like that. The Glazers absolutely hate that because, the players took the blame for the Glazers last season. We put all our frustration out on the players last season. When things were getting bad as well, we put all our frustration on Ollie. When things were getting bad in previous seasons, we put all our frustration on Mourinho. Every single year when things are getting bad, we put all our frustration on the manager. But all of a sudden, we lose 4-0 to Brentford. And what's the reaction? Is it Ten Hag out? No, it's Glazers out. The Glazers have realised Ten Hag is new. The fan base is positive about him. The fans won't turn on Ten Hag if we lose. The fans will turn on Glazers if we lose. We lost 4-0 to Brentford. It was Glazers out, not Ten Hag out. Everywhere. Glazers out, and the board hate that. The Glazers hate that because the Glazers, whenever something goes bad at the club, are getting the attention. The Glazers want, Ronaldo to take the fall. That's why when we lost 4-0 to Brentford, all these made-up stories about Ronaldo were coming out by the journalists briefed by United. The Glazers, sitting back in Florida, used the media to spin all these stories on Ronaldo and make out that Ronaldo was the problem and all of that as well. It's absolutely crazy how the Glazers, tried to spin it. But the Glazers are doing these stories now. And they're coming out. There's this big story coming out about how Ten Hag wanted to sell Garner and how the reason we overpaid is because of Ten Hag and all of this. All these stories coming out about Ronaldo being a problem and about it being Ten Hag's decision to tell Garner is a lie. It's an absolute lie. It's the Glazers using their PR and media to try and make sure that the fans turn on Ronaldo or Ten Hag if things go wrong. Because right now, if things go wrong, we all turn on the Glazers. We all go Glazers out. We all go with our Glazer out chance. And the Glazers decided to sell James Garner to pay their dividends. They decided to sell James Garner to pay their dividends. That's what they did. Ten Hag didn't. But they want to make out that Ten Hag did sell James Garner because they want us to turn on James Garner. Not James Garner. They want us to turn on Ten Hag. They want us to have a problem with Ten Hag. They don't like the fact that, and it's funny because every other owners would be so happy that the fans like the manager. They don't like the fact that all the fans are happy with Ten Hag and that if we lose, they're not going to get on Ten Hag's back. They're going to get on the Glazers' back. And the Glazers don't want us on their back as well. Guys, please do smash that like button. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I do go live every single evening on my channel, keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more. We are going to get into the lineup. We are going to talk about the Arsenal game. We have got loads and loads to talk about, so do make sure you subscribe so you stay up to date with all the latest United news as well. West Ham robbed earlier, and big up Diogo saying do subscribe, guys. I am so close, by the way, guys, to what was I saying? 50,000 subscribers. I'm so close to 50,000 subscribers. I'm on 49,644 subscribers. So we are right now 356 subscribers away from 50k, and I'd absolutely love to hit 50k in the coming days. So do subscribe if you're new. But let me get into the news as well. Arsenal won't have their top striker Lord Maguire as well, and Fabrizio and Ornstein are greater than Whitwell and Luckhurst. Yes, but Whitwell and Luckhurst get very good information from the club as well. And watching Haaland being so hungry and strong in front of goal, shame we didn't get him. I mean, look, the reason we didn't get Haaland is because it's got Ed Woodward and Mino Ola written all over it as well. And Ollie wanted Lautaro and Martinez, but the Glazers got him a 33-year-old Cavani. I mean, look, Ollie wanted all these players and the Glazers didn't get him those players. The difference between Ten Hag and Ollie, and this is what I love about Ten Hag, and the main difference between Ten Hag and Ollie is that Ten Hag wanted these players, and when the Glazers and the board, offered, this is the big difference. Ten Hag wanted players, and the board just went to Ten Hag and offered him loads of cheap alternatives. The board offered loads of crappy, cheap alternatives to the players Ten Hag wanted. They said, "Oh, do you want this player, Ten Hag? Oh, we're just going to list this crappy, cheap alternative." That's what the board did. Ten Hag said, "No, I want this player and only this player." Ollie, when he couldn't get the player he wanted, accepted the crappy, cheap alternative. Ollie couldn't get the player he wanted, so he was like, "Fine, I'll have this crappy, cheap alternative that the board have said I should get because I can't get the player I want. Can't get Greenish, I'll get Donny, even though I don't want Donny." Ten Hag stood up for himself, stood up to the board, and Ten Hag said, "Well, if you can't get me Antony, I don't want Arnautovic, I don't want Dybala, I don't want Dembele, I want Antony and only Antony." And that's what Ten Hag did. Ten Hag absolutely stood up to the board, and I have to respect him for that. But good, guys, I want to get something up on my screen that is massive, and then I'm going to get into the lineup for the Arsenal game as well. The squad news for the Arsenal game is about to come out as well, so that'll be good. But obviously, there is a protest versus Arsenal tomorrow, be it the 1958. It's a different type of protest. It's time to show the Glazers that the club belongs to the fans. Be loud, be visual. And it said here, Arsenal, the 4th of September protest. And they were talking about how this week, this is what the Glazers have been doing this week. And I spoke about this in my video last week. The Glazers have requested Sky to limit protest coverage. The Glazers have been using canned United chants for the Casemiro reveal video to cover out the fans saying Glazers out in the clan's dealings. The Glazers pressured social media outlets to question and dampen the hashtag campaigns. And the biggest embarrassment for the club this week was removing Glazer out flags from fans and the stadium before kickoff. This included fans in the disabled section. Absolutely disgusting. There is no rule that Man United can't bring in anti-Glazer fans to Old Trafford, but United had been removing anti-Glazer flags from Old Trafford, and for me, that was an absolute disgrace as well. And the Glazers are still sitting there back in Florida planning of this Super League. How can we destroy football? Absolutely planning for the Super League as well. Honestly. So as always, guys, remember, hashtag Glazers out. We want Glazers out. Say we want Glazers out. We want Glazers out. Say we want Glazers out. Isn't it funny that teams that we call oil money clubs are actually more ambitious than what we call genuine clubs? Where is the fighting spirit? It is ironic. It's annoying that City and PSG have all the ambition to be the best club in the world, and United have zero ambition. United just want to be a cash cow for the Glazers as well. And must I be a Man United fan for your YouTube channel? No. Rival fans watch me all the time, or mostly when we lose, rival fans watch me as well. A chance to make it 4 wins in a row to Steve, exactly. And he wanted Núñez at striker instead of Dybala, but he didn't. Ten Hag did want Núñez. Ten Hag did want Núñez. Ten Hag wanted Núñez. Ten Hag wanted Antony. Ten Hag wanted Timber. He wanted Malacia. He wanted Eriksson, and he wanted De Jong. That's who Ten Hag wanted, 100% as well. But when Ten Hag realised he couldn't get Núñez, he wanted Antony, because Ten Hag put Antony and Núñez down. Ten Hag put 6 players down on his list: Antony, Núñez, De Jong, Malacia, Eriksson, and Timber. When he found out he couldn't get Timber, he said, "No problem, I'll get Martinez." So Ten Hag, had loads of players on his list, and Núñez was one of them. But I don't think Núñez has been that good for Liverpool. Do you know what's mad? You know what I don't get about Liverpool fans? No one in their right mind last season would have compared Darwin Núñez to Haaland. No one would ever compare Darwin Núñez to Haaland. You know, Haaland is so clear of Darwin Núñez. It would literally be like us comparing Maguire to Van Dijk. You know, when we signed Maguire for a big fee and he was the most expensive centre back, and then Van Dijk was the second most expensive centre back, and people were comparing Maguire to Van Dijk when he first came to United. It made no sense. Why are Liverpool fans comparing Darwin Núñez to Haaland? I don't get it when Liverpool fans do that, but they're just not on this level as well. What do you think the current best lineup is? Well, that's what we're going to get into. We're going to get into Manchester United's lineup. So we're going to get into the reported lineup for tomorrow's match and their leaked lineup for tomorrow's match, and we will get into my lineup. So I'm going to show you my lineup first, how I would line up United tomorrow, and then I'll show you the reported lineup coming out for tomorrow's match. So Diogo, Dalot, and Malacic. We all know what the back five is going to be, and this is the back five that will play tomorrow, according to reports as well, which is brilliant, unless there's an injury. Like, why would you change the back five if they kept 2 clean sheets in a row? I would play Casemiro here. I think Eriksen is very much key to Ten Hag's plans. I play Eriksen a slightly higher up role, but it's funny to believe how good Eriksen's been deep. I would like to see this, but we won't see this tomorrow. This is what I want to see, and then I'll show you what we could see tomorrow. I'd quite like to see something like, I think low-key, this could work really well. This is what I'd like to see tomorrow. This is my lineup for tomorrow's game, and then I will get into the rumoured lineup for tomorrow's game. I think Sancho could do a good job in the 10 role. And I know that's a bit of an unpopular opinion. I know that's, not a big opinion going around. But I really think Sancho could do some stuff in that 10 role for United. And I think he could really thrive in that 10 role. I don't know what you guys think. Obviously, Bruno was decent the last few games, but wasn't amazing. I haven't been super impressed with Bruno lately. So I kind of like to see Sancho in that 10 role. But going back into the line that the United are going to use, obviously Bruno's going to be playing in that 10 role and not Sancho. Reportedly, it will be this. Bruno playing in the 10 role here. Bruno will play. And reportedly, Antony will be on the bench tomorrow with Sancho on the right. This is the reported, rumoured lineup for tomorrow's game. Nothing is confirmed, but this is the lineup going around that's being reported for tomorrow's game. There's also a lineup going around where Ronaldo's on the bench again, Antony's on the right, and Rashford's up top. But this is sort of the rumoured lineup going about for tomorrow's game, which I would be happy to see this, and I think Antony off the bench would really have some nice impact. I'd absolutely like to see this lineup tomorrow, but I do want to. The thing is, for me, I want to see Antony start, but I understand if Antony doesn't start. Antony can come off the bench. Antony can be impact and all of that. But for me, the most important thing is to see Ronaldo and Casemiro start. For me, Ronaldo and Casemiro actually have to start as well. Cristiano Ronaldo scored 7 goals in his last 8 games against Arsenal. Ronaldo is a big game player. Ronaldo knows how to score against Arsenal as well. Here's a stat about Cristiano Ronaldo versus Arsenal for you. He's scored 7 goals in his last 8 games. Ronaldo always causes Arsenal problems, and I have very much confidence that if we did play Cristiano Ronaldo, he would score tomorrow. And I know there's rumours that Rashford will be up top again. I like Rashford. I don't think Rashford's been bad lately. A lot of people have been going in on Rashford saying, oh, Rashford has, not been that good. Oh, Rashford's been poor. I think Rashford's been okay. I don't think he's been good, but I don't think he's been bad. But I do think, for me, I do not want to see Rashford as a striker. For me, Rashford has to play on that left wing. Rashford is a left winger, and he will always be a left winger for me. I don't know what your thoughts is on that, guys, but that's just my thoughts as well. But I do think that we could see a good Rashford under Ten Hag. I think Rashford is slowly improving. Martial is out injured. If we go into, I'll get into the press conference quotes. So shall I get into everything Ten Hag said about the game? Let me just take a quick swig of water. And I cover the press conference quotes and stuff. He talks about who's going to be out and who's going to be in tomorrow as well. So obviously, Laurie Whitwell's report talked about how United are planning to back Ten Hag and all of that, blah. But what Ten Hag actually came out and said was, and I thought this was really interesting here, is if I can find what Ten Hag said. So it came out that basically Man United are going to back Ten Hag and all of that. Ten Hag spoke about facing new challenges. He said it's been a great pleasure here at United to face new challenges. He says every game is a challenge in the Premier League and that's what I want, but it's not about me. It's about improving the team and working in progress. Ten Hag then said that he does watch every Premier League game. He's been watching a lot of Arsenal, and Ten Hag said that he's been watching Arsenal play and they play with very high intensity, which is something different as well. And Ten Hag spoke about how good Arsenal was, but Ten Hag said, this game is about maintaining our current momentum, not only to maintain, but to get better. I think it has to be the idea. Good is not enough. We have to do better every day and bring the maximum on the pitch. And Ten Hag saying, yes, we've won 3 in a row, but it's not good enough. We've got to be playing better and winning games as well. And Ten Hag's come out and said that, which is massive. But Ten Hag did do a press conference and confirm who was going to, a couple news and stuff. So Ten Hag in his press conference did confirm that Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw might be available, but they've obviously had slight nicks. And I think that Martial is still out and he doesn't know when Martial will be back. The worrying thing is Ten Hag said he doesn't know when Martial will be back. So when we thought Martial was injured, we thought Martial would be out for maybe 1 game. But Ten Hag has come out and said that he doesn't 100% know when Martial will be back, but he thinks it won't be for long. So hopefully we can see Martial feature maybe in a Europa League game. But I think Martial's injury record is something that really is quite worrying. Ten Hag also said during the press conference that we're raising a team that is sticking together and fighting for each other. Now we have to stack up further. And Ten Hag said Ronaldo's on the bench because it's early in the season and he's not 100% fit. So a lot of people questioning why Ronaldo's been on the bench, and Ten Hag saying it's because he's not 100% fit. It's very early in the season. You know, Ronaldo didn't go on pre-season tour. Ronaldo's a lot less fit than some of the players, and reportedly that is why Ronaldo's been starting on the bench a lot lately as well. And Laurie Whitwell, so not Laurie Whitwell, sorry, Ten Hag said Laurie Whitwell reported this, that he thought that Man United have had quite a solid performance in their last few games. However, he wants to win them 2-0, not 1-0, which was massive as well. But this is what Ten Hag had to say about Martial. And this is the worrying thing for me. This is the really worrying thing, because I really do like Martial, but he is out injured again. He said, we'll see with Antony Martial after training whether he's ready for Sunday. When there is an opportunity, we have to strike, but I think the building is closed for now. And that's what he said earlier, and it has been confirmed that Martial is out. Is Odegaard playing tomorrow? Is Odegaard confirmed playing? Because I know, so Odegaard, Ramsdale and Zinchenko are doubts, and Partey and ANOTNY are 100% out. Is Odegaard playing tomorrow? Just someone want to confirm that as well. And Antony, Sancho, Ronnie would be our best attack. I think that would be a fire thing as well. Hi dear, what do you think about my team Everton? Very, very happy that Liverpool didn't beat you today. Very happy you took points off Liverpool as well. Liverpool salty about that. Watching Liverpool not win is such a great feeling as well. As long as you win the game, fans think they have the right owners and the club will not win trophies. Look, I've always said win, lose or draw. We've got to remember with the Glazers out message as well. And I think as a fan base, we know that winning this game and signing players doesn't change anything. If we want to be the old Man United, if we want to be what City are doing, we've got to get new owners as well. You know, things are looking good for Manchester United. As I've said, if you go on SofaScore, we've won our last few games. You know, we've got Arsenal next. I think tomorrow is absolutely massive because the whole mentality completely changes tomorrow. It's been such a good weekend. We've had City and Liverpool drop points this weekend, and if we beat Arsenal drop points, they lose. And I think it would just be absolutely brilliant to just end this weekend with Arsenal, City and Liverpool all dropping points. United win, back in the top 4 and 3 points off first. But if we lose this game, we stay around mid-table. I mean, it's the Premier League table here. If we lose this game, we'll probably sit around 8th, 9th. But if we win this game, we're back in the top 4 and we're 3 points off first. And winning this game just makes such a difference as well. I believe Arsenal will play in a low block. We need to press high and send crosses to Ronaldo. The main reason Antony and Sancho must start more than Rashford. I agree with you there, Syed. I think you make a really good point there. And guys, Diogo said we're only 38 likes away from 300 likes. So make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's get to 300 likes as well. And also, guys, we're 50 subscribers away from 49.7k. We're 350 subscribers away from 50k. So do make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new and want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more. Because I will be doing a watch along tomorrow for United versus Arsenal, followed by a match reaction as well. And just there's so much to talk about at United at the moment, you know. But also, you know, De Jong being benched. De Jong being benched again for Barcelona. You know, De Jong better be wishing he came to United as well. I tell you that. I do feel a bit sorry for De Jong. The truth behind De Jong is that actually De Jong did privately agree to join United. There's sort of truth coming out saying that De Jong did privately agree to join Manchester United. However, he was waiting for his deferred wages that Barcelona won't give him. And there was some kind of agreement between United and De Jong, but De Jong had to state publicly he didn't want to leave to increase his chances of getting his wages, which was a very interesting story as well. Ivan Toney hat-trick today, guys. I said to you guys in May, Ivan Toney's a good player, and I got a lot of stick for it from you guys. But I will stick with that. Ivan Toney is a very good player, and I will 100% stick with that as well. Talking of the Europa League, Garnacho and Shola will be the youth players apparently involved in the squad for the Europa League as well. And of course, obviously, all the stories that have come out since the transfer window saying this player did this. But I want to get into this. I want to get into this news because this is positive news, and I'm trying to be positive about Man United. We're trying to be positive about all the news. And there's a big news story that broke about hopefully something that Manchester United will do, which would be a very positive thing. And that is that some sources are contemplating whether Michael Edwards could land at United when he finishes his time out at Liverpool. Now, United have sat the scouts, and United do need to recruit some people in that area, especially, I think, after the poor planning in the transfer window. I don't think United will do this purely because it's a logical move. If we get Michael Edwards in, it's a logical move because we're actually getting someone in that knows football and is not a banker to do the footballing side of the role at United. So I don't think the Glazers will get Michael Edwards in because it just seems too logical for the Glazers. It seems like, well, that would make sense, getting someone good in. But Michael Edwards to United would be brilliant for transfers as well. Tony's such a good player, and I said this, but people didn't rate him last season. I said, trust me, he's a good player as well. And Odegaard and Ramsdale have travelled with the Arsenal squad. Hopefully they're not fit to play though as well. Hopefully they're not fit to play. I think Ramsdale and Odegaard on top of Partey would be a massive miss for Arsenal as well. And Ronaldo doesn't want to start. He doesn't suit Ten Hag's style. Ronaldo could score. Ronaldo's Ronaldo. How many man? Look, I'll say this. Ronaldo's a player where a lot of clubs didn't want to sign him because he's very different now. He doesn't suit what a lot of clubs want to do. Ronaldo really wanted to go to Bayern. And Bayern sold Lewandowski, but Nagelsmann said Ronaldo doesn't suit the direction we want to go in. Ronaldo's not a modern player. All the big teams are churning into this modern football, and that's what they've been saying. And Ronaldo didn't suit a lot of these players, a lot of these managers. But at the end of the day, I think it's quite naive to say Ronaldo doesn't suit Ten Hag's football. Ronaldo might not be ideal for Ten Hag's football. I think Ronaldo's not the ideal player now. He's 37 and he's a little bit limited. But Ronaldo, how many managers has Ronaldo played under? Mourinho, Ancelotti, Sir Alex, Oli, Rangnick, Allegri, and some of those managers aren't the best managers in the world. And Ronaldo's played under good managers, bad managers, but under every single manager Ronaldo's played for, he's performed. Under Oli, when Ronaldo was in the graveyard shift with no service, he scored goals. Under Ralph Rangnick, when Manchester United were the worst they'd ever been, he scored goals. Under Allegri at Juventus, who's crap, Ronaldo scored goals. It doesn't matter who the manager is. Ronaldo's proven time and time again, even if he's not the ideal player for the manager or 100% suits the manager's system, he's Cristiano Ronaldo. It doesn't matter who the manager is. He's always going to be good. He's one of those incredibly unique players. And Sir Alex Ferguson said this. When Sir Alex Ferguson was asked who's better, Messi or Ronaldo, Sir Alex Ferguson simply said this. You could stick Ronaldo in League Two, Ronaldo could play for Rochdale or Bolton and score a hat-trick. Messi, he's a Barcelona product. Messi's decent at PSG, but it's PSG. But I've always said this. Ronaldo could play for any team in the world, under any manager in the world, and still be the best player on the pitch. He's just one of those players. Messi's a great player, but he needs to be playing for a good club, playing an expansive kind of football. Ronaldo's a tough player. It doesn't matter who he plays for and who the manager is. He will get goals. Like, Ronaldo's just that kind of player. And, that's what Sir Alex Ferguson said about Maguire. So I'm not worried about Ronaldo under Ten Hag as well. Haller works for Ten Hag. CR7 can work. Exactly. Sebastian Haller was very good under Ten Hag. He was crap in the Premier League, but very good under Ten Hag in the area busy. Very physical box striker. Sebastian Haller was brilliant. And I'm very confident Ronaldo will be brilliant under Ten Hag. People said Jesus is going to cause Man United problems tomorrow. Potentially, I said, look, Arsenal's attack is their strength. Arsenal's attack have been brilliant. Arsenal's strength is attack, but our strength is defence. It's a very good Arsenal attack versus a very good United defence tomorrow, and we'll have to see who comes out. But I have every single bit of confidence that Ronaldo will absolutely thrive under Ten Hag, because Ronaldo is one of the best players in the world. He can do it in every system as well. I do think Martial could be more suited for it, but 100% as well. We're on 290 likes, guys, so do smash that like button. And remember, please do subscribe below if you're new. So close to 50k, and I will be live tomorrow for a watch along as well. Alice, I believe Martinelli will be the ultimate factor in tomorrow's English El Clasico. Martinelli and Jesus could cause United problems. Martinelli and Jesus are two very, very good, two very, very talented players that could easily cause Manchester United problems tomorrow. But Diogo, Dalot, Malacia, Varane and Martinez have been so good defensively. And there's two ways to look at this. Arsenal have been brilliant. Arsenal have been brilliant in attack. Arsenal attack's been thriving. La-di-la-di-lum. And the other way you can look at this is also United's defence has been brilliant. A very good attack has come up against a very good defence. Arsenal have got a few injuries. We've got Antony coming in. This is Arsenal's first big game, but this is a test for the United defence. Can they do it again? You know, Liverpool weren't at their best. Arsenal are at their best. Can we beat Arsenal at their best? Arsenal have been all over everyone. And I think we'll win because Ten Hag is a big game manager. Ten Hag's a big game manager. I think he's been studying this. I think Ten Hag's ready for this. I think the Man United players are more than ready for this. You know, Ten Hag's that kind of manager where he loves an occasion like this. I think with Partey being out and ANOTNY being out, having to be Lokonga and Xhaka, I think midfield will be a weak point for Arsenal. There's rumours that Odegaard and Zinchenko and Ramsdale aren't even 100% fit. So Arteta might be playing players that aren't 100% fit or they might not be involved. With Arsenal coming to Old Trafford always been difficult for Arsenal, having won 2 of their last 19 games at Old Trafford, with Arsenal having key injuries, and I think with United finally finding some form, confidence and momentum, I do think that United will win tomorrow, and I do think Ronaldo will start, and I do think Ronaldo will score. I think Antony will give Ronaldo service. One of the best things about signing Antony is, and I think, and I'll say this again, I think that Antony is going to be really good for United, but I actually think Antony guarantees Ronaldo's service. You know, I know Antony's left-footed and he can cut in and all of that, but Greenwood, when he played on the right, used to cut in and shoot. He'd never provide Ronaldo anything. Elanga was just not good enough. Rashford couldn't do it on the right wing. We've now got a right winger that is proven on the right wing and good at chance creating. Sancho's great on the right wing, but he's better on the left wing. We've got a right winger that's going to cut in and actually create chances for Ronaldo. You know, inverted crosses for Ronaldo. You then got Sancho on the left that's going to create chances for Ronaldo. Ollie's main front three was Greenwood on the right, Rashford on the left, and Ronaldo at top. And Greenwood, Ronaldo, and Rashford as a front three was never going to work because Greenwood, Ronaldo, and Rashford, they all want to be strikers. They all want to be the goal scorers. If you have Ronaldo playing as your striker up top, you need a player that you're going to create chances for. Sebastian Haller. What did Antony do? Sebastian Haller's, I'm not going to compare him to Ronaldo, but Sebastian Haller was that. You know, you needed to create chances for Haller like you needed to do with Ronaldo. And that's what Antony did at Ajax. That's what Bergwijn did at Ajax. United, when they played with Ronaldo last season, Greenwood would cut in and shoot. Rashford would cut in and shoot. None of them would pass the ball to Ronaldo. So instead of having a front three, you had 3 individual players up front last season. Now, with Antony coming as Sancho and Ronaldo, you have a front three that can play together. Ronaldo's coming on as a sub and he was linking up well. Rather than 3 individuals, you have a front three that can actually link together and play together. Ronaldo should start tomorrow, and I think he will start tomorrow ahead of Elanga because Ronaldo's a big game player and always scores in a big game. I don't think Antony will start. I think it will be Casemiro in for McTominay and Ronaldo in for Elanga, but I think Antony will be on the bench as well. And I believe ANOTNY, Partey, and Odegaard are still injured for Arsenal tomorrow, which would be massive for United because that's their main midfielders as well. And Arsenal problems are bigger than our squad. Arsenal have got a lot more injury problems than Man United. We want Nkunku, Timber, Bellingham, and Sanchez in the next window. I think a good goalie, Nkunku, a good striker, and Diogo and Timber would be ideal next window, but never going to happen. Martinez versus Jesus will be interesting. And I say this now. I think Martinez is made for this battle against Jesus. I think Martinez will be perfectly fine, and I think Martinez will be very good against Jesus tomorrow. And I'll tell you why I think this. Lisandro Martinez is a very mobile centre-back. And, you know, when you look at players like Jesus, I think that he's not that big physical presence, you know, because obviously Lisandro Martinez is 5'9", we can't forget. I think Martinez will be fine with Jesus because I think Martinez and Varane will be able to do Jesus quite well because Jesus' strength is linking up players' mobility. And that is something that Lisandro Martinez is very good at defending against. So I think Jesus is a brilliant player, but I think with the confidence in our defence and with how good they've been, I'm not too worried about Jesus, maybe I'm overconfident. Maybe we're going to come back to this and we could get absolutely battered by Arsenal. Maybe I am underestimating Arsenal a bit. But the reason I'm underestimating Arsenal is just because it's at home. If we're at the Emirates, I wouldn't be confident that we'd win. If this was at the Emirates, I'd be very nervous. I'd say Arsenal are very good at the Emirates, but Arsenal aren't that great at Old Trafford. But the reason I'm confident is purely, as I've said before, because of that Arsenal injury crisis. I just think that puts United in a good position. I think Donny would do a better job against Arsenal and rest Bruno and Eriksen as Donny as an 8. I'd like to see Donny. I really want to see a midfield 3 of Donny, Casemiro, and Eriksen, but Eriksen in the more advanced. Well, I think it will link up quite well. I think I've been told that Fred will not start tomorrow, but Fred's going to get a start in the Europa League to prove himself again under Ten Hag as well. And Alice, do you think next season we'll go and get Frankie de Jong? I think United will go back in for de Jong because he's not starting for Barcelona. It's clear Barcelona don't want him. And I feel sorry for De Jong not starting for Barcelona, but people saying Odegaard was in training. Partey now nearly 100% out, but we don't know about Odegaard just yet as well. But look, yeah, I do think Frankie De Jong not playing for Arsenal's potential, but Donny still getting a lack of games is something that, yeah, we'll have. It's annoying. I think Donny hasn't been given a chance, but I think he will in the Europa League. At least Ten Hag uses Donny off the bench as well. Before I end the live stream, there is something I wanted to cover that I've seen a bit. There's a couple fake quotes going around. That I don't think's on. People are making up this, and it's gone around Twitter. It's got like 1,000 likes. Someone is making up fake quotes about Greenwood and Ten Hag. Ten Hag, and I'm going to tell you this now, has not spoken one word about Mason Greenwood. Ten Hag's not said one thing about the Mason Greenwood situation, because why would he? It's not his situation to comment on. It's a police situation. There's some quotes going around Twitter saying that Ten Hag said this about Greenwood and Ten Hag said that about Greenwood, and he didn't. I just want to tell people this now, because I've seen it come up a couple of times that Ten Hag's not spoken once about Mason Greenwood, said anything about the Mason Greenwood situation, and he won't, because why should he? So if you do see any of those quotes, just remember they are fake, and it really annoys me when people make up fake quotes saying Ten Hag said this and this person said this to suit their agenda. It really, really annoys me, because he didn't. He hasn't said anything, and I just thought that was quite clear to thing. And someone said, Alice, Arsenal can beat us when they have the butcherless Sandro Martinez and the no-nonsense Rafael Varane to completely destroy Jesus from storing. That's how I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to think. I think Arsenal are a good team. I think Arsenal will cause us problems, but I'm very confident in this Lisandro Martinez Rafael Varane pairing. Very, very confident in them. And look, I think United will win, and I've got this deluded confidence. Can you believe this? We've won 3 fucking games in a row, but we just scrapped the wins, and we've only won by 1 goal. And Alice is very confident. I mean, it's crazy, but I do feel very, very confident as well. But yeah. Alice, I don't know why I'm very confident about tomorrow's game. I just want Ronaldo to start. I think, 100% Ronaldo has to start. I think we have this absolute deluded confidence, but I love it as well. If we want to keep Ronaldo happy, we have to put creative players like Santos and Antony on the wing. I want to see Ronaldo start and get service, and I think Ronaldo will start tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. I think I would be shocked if he went with the exact same 11 again. And I know he hasn't changed that starting 11 in 3 games, and I know the saying, why change the winning 11? And I understand why Ten Hag wouldn't change the 11. And I go, why would you change the starting 11? That's won 3 games in a row. 100%. I understand that from Ten Hag's point of view, but I just think the starting 11. We've had so many games. There needs to be a rest and rotation. And yes, we were good versus Leicester. Yes, we were good versus Southampton. And yes, they were hard fought out wins. But the Leicester win was a win where the defence won the game for us. The Leicester was a hard-fought win in defence. That's what Leicester was. And Southampton was a hard-fought win in defence. There was issues in attack. You need to change the attack, because the defence was very good, but the attack did nothing. And if we play like we did against Leicester and Southampton against Arsenal, the game has 0-0 written all over it. The defence was very, very good. We need improvements in attack. And that's why you need to play Ronaldo or Antony. One of Ronaldo or Antony has to play tomorrow, purely because the United attack has been lacking the last few games. 1 goal. We did create a few chances. I know Eriksen missed a big chance that Ronaldo created for him and all of that. But, 1 goal in those last 2 games is not good enough. So, 100% as well. Who will score for us? I think Ronaldo. And I've been told Casemiro is starting tomorrow, but we will have to wait and see. Dion will find a reason not to come in January. Dion might want to come in January, but the board won't pay for Dion. I'll say that now. Your score prediction, it could be a 0-0, but I'm actually going to go 2-0 United. I think this is a game that does have 0-0 written all over it. Arsenal having some injuries, parking the bus, United playing defensive football. I think it's a game with 0-0 written all over it, but I think United are going to win 2-1. If United won 5-2, that would be amazing. I don't think there'll be many goals. I think it will be a tight one. Despite Arsenal being very good in attack, I think it will be a tight game. And I want Casemiro, Ronaldo and Anthony to start, Rashford, Bruno and Eriksen, Rashford on the bench, Bruno, Eriksen controlling midfield. Yeah, I think everyone's agreed on the starting 11 to be Ronaldo up top, Antony and Sancho on the wings, Casemiro and for McTominay. I think everyone's kind of agreed on what United's strongest 11 is at the moment, which I find really interesting. It's like first time in a while there's some real kind of agreement of, this should be Man United's starting 11 on, Man United should do this and Man United should do this and all that as well. I'm just going to refresh my Twitter quickly. I'll go on another tab so I won't change that and just see if we've got any news about the squad, because sometimes around 9 o'clock, they release the squad that will be staying at the hotel for the game, but I'm not sure if they will because of obviously potential protests. I'm not, because obviously I think there's still a protest again tomorrow versus Arsenal. So I don't think they're going to say what hotel the players are in because they don't want to have another protest. So they haven't released the squad for the game just yet, apparently, which is a bit annoying. But we have been told by Ten Hag Antony will be involved, but Anthony Martial won't be as well. We should start looking at Ivan Toney. I've been saying this since April. I've been saying this for a while. There's a good player in Ivan Toney. 3-3, I doubt that, but that will be an interesting game as well. United fans way too confident after scrapping past Southampton and Leicester. We are. You're right. I think the reason I'm confident is because I'm a deluded United fan and I'm just happy that we're winning games. I think I will admit, I am weirdly deludedly confident that United are going to get a result. But look, guys, I've been live for a while, so I am going to wrap up the live stream. So please do subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. Please do click that subscribe button. We're so close to 50k. We'll be back tomorrow with a watch-along for Manchester United versus Arsenal, a match reaction after. So please do subscribe to the channel. Please do share the video. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in as well. Diogo predicts 2-1 United versus Arsenal. Big up, everybody in the chat. Smash a like on the way out. Subscribe. Thanks, everyone, for watching and tuning into today's video. If we lose tomorrow, you can all laugh at me for talking about how confident I am that we're going to win. I just have some confidence. And I think me talking all this talk is really going to backfire tomorrow. But, whatever.